Hello, everyone. Welcome to the SIG Showcase for Harvard Alumni for Global Women's Empowerment. We will get started in just a few seconds, but I wanted to thank you all for being here. My name is Barbara Moreno-Paschal, and I'm president of Global We. We'll get started in just a few seconds. We're just waiting for a few more people to enter from the waiting room. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Barbara Moreno-Paschal. I'm president of Harvard Alumni for Global Women's Empowerment, which is a SIG or shared interest group of the HAA. I'm really pleased to give this presentation to all of you today and really hope that more of you will be interested in getting involved with Global We this year. We've grown tremendously in our 10 years, and we're really excited about the programs we're working on and some of the initiatives that have been longstanding for our organization. How today will work is I have a presentation to share with all of you, and I also have some poll questions so we can get to know each other a little bit and hear what your interest is with Global We or how you heard about today's event. And then after the presentation, we'll have some Q&A. And if anyone is interested in learning more, you're welcome to contact me via email or sign up for our email list to become a member. At this time, I'm going to set up my screen so that you can see the presentation. And I will remind everyone that this is being recorded so that people who weren't able to attend are going to be able to see it later. I'm going to now share my screen, which will have the presentation. I'm hoping that everyone can see my screen. Can someone give me confirmation that you can see the screen? I can't see anyone, so if someone can verbally tell me, maybe Leah.
Yes, I can see the screen.
Thank you so much. The agenda for this evening or today is to give an overview of Global We and its mission, followed by examples of programs we've held in the past, an insight into 2025 programming, and several ways that you can get involved with our SIG, as well as question and answer. First, we'd like to show you a video that we put together, which is a year-end video from 2024 that gives some highlights of our organization. It's about 3 minutes long, and so I'm going to play that video now.
Welcome to Harvard Alumni for Global Women's Empowerment, Global We, a community committed to advancing the rights and opportunities of women and girls worldwide. Since our founding in 2013, we have grown into a global network of 1,800 plus members across 44 countries, unified by the mission to empower women through education, dialogue, and connection.
In 2023-24, marking a decade of Global We combined our two signature events into a 10th anniversary summit in April. Our annual Expo, Innovations for and by Women, and Student Alumni Roundtable, Innovating Equality, Women in AI, resonated deeply with attendees. The keynote speaker on women's empowerment and sustainability explored the intersection between gender and environmental changes.
Our programs have never been more relevant. From our fireside chats to discussion circles, we tackled critical topics such as sexual violence as a weapon of war and terrorism, the impact of ongoing conflicts on women's basic needs, and Women's Empowerment Series featuring Vital Voices Global Partnership. These discussions provide actionable insights and foster connections that drive change.
Our essay contest, now reaching students in over 40 countries, empowers young voices to highlight the biggest challenges facing women in their communities. In 2021, we celebrated the publication of 99 winning essays from the contest's first 5 years and continued to share these essays with our alumni throughout 2024. These essays are more than stories. They are catalysts for dialogue and action across borders.
Our programming isn't just about conversations. It's about building connections. In 2024, We hosted over 11 events on diverse topics like women in leadership and governance, innovating equality, women at the forefront of AI, mental health, sustainability and impact, sustainable education. We also organized a 10K virtual and in-person run for our members to celebrate our 10th anniversary.
Our movie club brought people together to explore women's stories through film, while our alumni roundtables created spaces for deep dives into pressing challenges.
As a volunteer-led organization, our work is powered by over 100 active volunteers, whose dedication enables us to make a global impact. In 2025, we aim to grow even further, expanding the reach of our programs, strengthening partnerships, and empowering more women through education and dialogue.
We are excited for what lies ahead, but we need your support to achieve these goals. Your contributions directly fund initiatives that change lives.
Together, we can continue to create spaces for women to thrive through education, sustainability, and empowerment. Visit our website to donate today.
Join us as we embark on another decade of impact. Your support makes all the difference.
Thank you for standing with us in advancing the cause of global women's empowerment.
All right, well, thanks everyone for watching the video. If you want to watch it again, it's on our YouTube channel, Harvard Global We Info. Now,
Welcome to Harvard Alumni.
Trying to move to the next slide. There we go. And so what you heard was a summation of a lot of the activities and programs we've had and initiatives we've advanced in the last 10 years. And as was mentioned at the end of the presentation, we're really excited about the next 10 years and what 2025 will bring. But first, just to highlight a few points about Global we are dedicated to the empowerment of women through three things: education, dialogue, and connection. And we do this among individuals working for women's rights and freedoms worldwide. And these individuals can be from all over the world. They can be men and women. We welcome everyone who values our mission and wants to help advance it. We are award-winning, and we had the privilege of being a recipient of the 2020 award from the Harvard Alumni Association as an Outstanding Alumni Community Award recipient. That was a wonderful moment, and we were really excited to have been nominated and receive that award. We are also volunteer-led, as was mentioned in the video, and with over 100 volunteers, we can do amazing things. And we're hoping that some of you tonight, if you're not already volunteering with us, will be inspired to do so. This photo is of our board of directors from a retreat that was held in October of 2024. You may have heard different voices during the video, and those voices are the people in this photo and a few other people who are part of our wonderful board of directors, which is volunteer-led. Some of our board members are in the audience tonight, including President Emerita Leah Keene, former treasurer and current membership and volunteers chair Eric Day, and others, including our secretary, Ariette Escobar. This is an example of programming in which Global We is educating our members, and our members are from all over the world. Our members often participate in our programs as speakers, moderators, panelists, and give insight and input into the work that we do. As you can see, this is just an example of the many programs that Global We has held in the last 10 plus years. Several of them are available on our YouTube channel that you can watch at any time. We've covered a range of topics, from the Syrian refugee crisis to migration from Latin America to financial literacy for women and girls in education, gender-based violence, and sexual violence. These are all really important themes that I'll talk about in a little while about aspects pertaining to women's empowerment. We also foster dialogue among our members and among the greater alumni community within Harvard and others who are passionate about women's empowerment worldwide. These are just examples of some of the initiatives and programs we've run in the last few years alone, including our annual Student Alumni Roundtable event, our discussion circles, our fireside chat series, and other very impactful events that bring people together to talk about issues pertaining to the mission of Global We. We also build connections through different social events. We are not purely social as an organization. We educate and inform, but we also bring alumni and members and friends together. And we do this in different ways, including Global Networking Night, which is coming up on March 19th in a city near you. We do this through tonight's presentation and other SIG showcases that have been hosted by our organization. And we had a Connecting Over Coffee series during the pandemic that was helpful to bring alumni and community members, friends of Global We together, as well as our holiday social event, which is always a fun gathering. In recent years, we've had a member and volunteer social and a summer event. And then we've had other events that bring members together, like our movie club, which I'll bring up in just a moment. During the 2023 to 2024 year, we celebrated our 10th anniversary as a shared interest group founded in 2013. We had a number of excellent events, including a retrospective panel, and one of our advisory council members, Chuck Bergen, who is here this evening, was part of that panel, as well as President Emerita Leah Bayakin and President Emerita Sajid Ashraf, founder Julie Palmer, former board member and advisory council member Rebecca Roboto, and former board member and advisory council member Paul Sheep. We also had a 10K event in the last few months that some members of our audience here tonight participated in. We've had a Movie Club Plus event where a director of a film about endometriosis spoke with us and had a great dialogue about the challenges that women face with that medical condition. And we've had panels on things like leadership and governance, and of course, our annual Women's Empowerment Expo and Summit. And the theme of that Expo and Summit, the 10th anniversary summit, had to do with innovations for and by women, as well as innovating equality, women at the forefront of AI. These are just examples of some of the events that we held in the last couple of years, but last year was truly special, and we are excited to see what 2025 will bring. There are two initiatives that some of you may be familiar with, but to those of you who are new to Global We, that we really are proud of and continue to foster with new volunteers and new people who want to bring their ideas to the forefront of women's empowerment. The first is our Women's Empowerment Expo, which began as an on-campus event for Harvard students to connect with alumni and nonprofit organizations serving women and girls worldwide. It then became a virtual event during the COVID-19 pandemic and is now a hybrid event, which has components on campus at Harvard, as well as virtually via Zoom. That expo has focused on a wide range of topics pertaining to women's empowerment, including health and education, AI, sustainability, and other innovations. And we're going to continue to focus on areas of impact that our students and alumni are interested in. The expo has attracted dozens of organizations serving women and girls, and they have participated both virtually and in person on Harvard's campus. They participate by sharing information about their organization and ways that all of you or anyone attending an event like that could get involved, whether it's through a donation or volunteer or being a board member or just spreading the word about their organization. If any of you know an organization that serves women and girls worldwide, or even in the United States, that you think would be a good candidate for our Women's Empowerment Expo, or if you are on the board of one or just have knowledge about it, please email me at president@hglobalweek.org, and I'll put my email address in the chat, because we really want to feature more organizations that serve women and girls worldwide. The second initiative that we're very proud of is our Global We Essay Contest, which our founder, Julie Palmer, has put a tremendous amount of time in, as well as dozens, if not actually hundreds, of Global We volunteers, literally from all over the world. We have dozens of essay contests that 11th graders can participate in, and it's not just girls, boys can participate as well. And they're answering the question of what is the biggest challenge facing women and girls in your country today? That question has stood the test of time, and we've received so many wonderful submissions. As you may have heard from the video, we recently published a book, which the image you're seeing on my screen is the cover of 99 winning essays through the first 5 or so years of the contest. The contest continues to thrive, and we're really looking for more volunteers to be an essay contest manager, to read essays, and be part of our growing initiative. If you have an idea for a school in another country or even in the United States that you think might benefit from this contest, please also email me because we want to continue to grow and expand this contest. And we'd also like as many of you who'd love to be volunteers as essay contest managers or readers to join us. It's not an intensive time commitment, and it's really fulfilling to read the tremendous essays that the students write and the heartfelt tributes they have to their own country as they worry about things and want to make their country better and have a bright future. Those are the two initiatives that we're really proud of and that we continue to focus on as we grow and enter a second decade of impact. Moving on to 2025 programming, we have a movie club series that grew out of the pandemic and is a way to bring us together to talk about films from all over the world, whether they're current or from several years ago, sometimes decades, but have an impact. And we can talk about the connections that those films bring forth and the themes that are applicable to our world today. I will ask one of my colleagues to put a link in the chat. If any of you are interested in attending our movie club, you can fill out the poll that's in the chat. And there are 4 films that we are looking for votes on to see which will be our next feature for this club. It's a chance for people to come together and watch the movie on their own, come together and discuss it and build community within our network. We also have the Women's Empowerment Expo, which is an annual event. We plan to hold it sometime this fall in September or October of 2025 on Harvard's campus. We also would love to have a virtual component, but we do need participating organizations, and we try to bring new ones every year, although we often love welcoming back organizations that were a great contributor in the past. So like I said earlier, if you have any organizations in mind that you'd like to share with us, please email me and I'd be happy to pass that along to our programs team. We also have an alumni student roundtable, which is typically held annually during a Harvard Alumni Association meeting, and sometimes other Harvard alumni meetings are taking place during that weekend. It's a way for the students on campus who have their own student group called Harvard College for Global Women's Empowerment to engage with our alumni and have a discussion about an issue pertaining to the themes of our SIG. We have 5 themes in our mission, and I highlight them here because we will be focusing on 2 of them in particular for these flagship programs. The first is freedom from violence, followed by education, health, economic empowerment, and political rights. We are not a political organization. We maintain political neutrality, and we're not an advocacy organization. We seek to educate and inform, and our members can take that information and apply it in ways that they see fit. What's really important to us as a SIG is to make sure information is provided that is helpful to our members. And so we will often ask you and other members to give your input and to share ideas for programs or initiatives that we could engage in to foster women's empowerment globally. So we're really excited about these programs, and we hope that more of you will take part in our planning. We have various opportunities to get involved, and I believe that would be the next slide. The first is, of course, to become a member of Global We. We have a robust membership base, but we know that there are people out there who don't know about Global We, which is why we signed up for the SIG showcase, and which is why we continue to spread the word about our SIG as we enter the second decade of existence. To become a member, it's really easy. You can just go to our website at hglobalwe.org, and it's easy to find, join us, become part of our community, and there's an easy step-by-step process. If you're a Harvard alum, there's one way to do it. And then if you are not a Harvard alum and are a friend of Global We, there's a second way. And it is very easy to do. And our membership and volunteers chair can answer any questions you might have. You can just email me with any questions and I can pass them along. So that's something you could do right now. If you're interested in volunteering with the essay contest, that's a separate website that you can see on your screen here, www.globalwe-essays.org. And there are 2 roles currently that we are seeking: the essay contest reader. And you might ask what that consists of. I mentioned the question that we pose for each of our contests, and it would involve reading those essays in response to that prompt and evaluating them. Each winner of an essay contest receives a book from our organization that is provided to them. And some contests have ceremonies, which is a wonderful way to celebrate the accomplishments of the writers and highlight the work of the winners. And the winners' essays are published. They do become available on the website. And who knows, maybe soon we'll publish a second volume of winning essays. we also need contest managers. And you may want to know what that means or what that entails. For every school that has an essay contest, we have to have a point person who manages the contest. That person does not need to reside in the city where the school contest is being held. It could be someone in another place that has the ability to engage through whatever method of communication with the school that is running the contest, and the manager will handle the various aspects of making that contest happen and administering the contest. It isn't a large time commitment. It can be at times, but not continuously. So if you have questions, we can definitely forward them along, but we really are looking for more contest managers so that we can launch more contests. In terms of other ways to volunteer, there are several committees that are currently seeking volunteers. One of them is our marketing committee, which, as it sounds, provides information to our community about the great events going on. Some of you may have received an email from us about this event, and that was the work of our marketing team. We also have a designer, and we have people who work on social media and get the word out about what we're doing. And we want to attract as many people as possible, Harvard alumni, as well as members of the larger community that supports global women's empowerment. And so if that's something of interest to you, you can email me and I can connect you with our marketing chair, Aliza Makbul. The second opportunity is to join our membership and volunteers committee. Our chair, Eric Day, is here tonight or today for some who are not in North America. And that would be a great way to get involved with figuring out how to reach more people, how to get more Harvard alumni engaged and bring them into our fold, whether as part of an initiative or just attending our events and getting our information, attending Global Networking Night and Welcome to Your City, and all sorts of wonderful events that are held in conjunction with the HAA. So yes, if you have any interest in any of these things, please contact me, Barbara, at president@hglobalwe.org, and I'd be happy to connect you with Eric or Aliza. And finally, our programs team. Our programs team works tirelessly. You saw the many icons of programs, and that's over several years, but in the last few years in particular, we've had dozens of Global We programs that reach everyone, everywhere, and with all kinds of topics introduced and expounded upon. We really want more insight and perspective into the types of programs that we offer, and from people from all over the world to participate. And we do want to hold programs in time zones that more alumni from other parts of the world can participate in. So to that end, if you are interested in helping design our programs and invite speakers, or if you are potentially a speaker who'd like to contribute your impact on behalf of women and girls globally, then again, email me at president@hglobalwe.org and provide more information about your area of expertise or your interest, and we'll connect you with our programs team. As I mentioned earlier, we have a number of programs that we engage in, from our Fireside Chat series with leaders of NGOs and other organizations, to our Women's Empowerment Expo, to our movie club event, to panel discussions, all sorts of things that are really a wonderful alumni student roundtable, wonderful opportunities to get involved with our SIG. And these would be great ways to encourage people who are listening tonight or today to have an impact. And this often will have a broader reach beyond the day on which the presentation is held. We record a large amount of our programs, as many as we can, and we have them available for anyone to view at any time. And there is that poll again for the movie club in March. I didn't mention that the movie club event will be in March, but we'll have others throughout the year. And there are 4 films that we hope to show this year, and we'll be interested to hear which ones are the most popular. Now, I will conclude this presentation with a question and answer session, so I am going to take this slideshow down. Before I do that, though, I just want to reiterate my contact information, president@hglobalwe.org. I'm Barbara Moreno-Paschal, and if you want to learn more about Global We and keep up with us, you can join our organization by visiting hglobalwe.org. And if you think you're a member, but you're not getting our newsletters or emails, then please email me and we'll make sure we get that sorted out. We want to make sure all our members receive our communications. And sometimes people think they're a member, but then they're not getting the emails. So we want to make sure everyone who's a member is receiving every communication we have to offer. And lastly, before I put the screen down and answer your questions, we do have different accounts with, let's see, X, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. And so if you're active on any of those platforms and would like to keep up with what Global We is doing, then definitely subscribe or like or follow any of those accounts to stay current on Global We happenings. And we also will send emails very regularly. Social media is just a great way to keep up with it as well. And so with that, I am going to put my screen down, and I'd love to hear more of your questions this evening and today, and happily accept anyone's ideas or suggestions to make Global We a terrific, well, continue to be a terrific SIG. So with that, I would love to hear what any of you have to offer. And if you don't want to say your question, you can put it in our chat and I'm happy to read it and answer it.
I also wanted to mention, Barbara, to everybody here that we often participate in a lot of the global networking nights and welcome to your city events that are sponsored by HAA. So please check with your local Harvard club, and there's a chance we might be there to answer your questions and sign you up.
Is anyone planning to come to the Global Networking Night in Seoul by any chance, Leah?
I'm going to have Eric reach out to you, Teresa, so to make sure we can set that up. Thank you. Are you volunteering?
Oh, can I?
Yes, absolutely. Eric's going to contact you.
Got it.
Thank you.
Well, allow me to introduce Teresa Cho, who is one of the elected directors of the Harvard Alumni Association. She is in her first year of her 3-year term as an elected director. I am also an elected director. I'm in my 2nd year, and I have the privilege of working with Teresa as part of our elected director cohort. And it's very great to see her here. And I know it's very late or in morning. It's morning for you, so it's okay. Thank you for being here.
Okay, hi, and Teresa, I'm Casey Lartig. Okay, good to see you. I'm also in Seoul.
Right, so we can do this together, Casey.
Yes, all right, fantastic.
Yeah, let me add that you could have just learned about Global We today and still help us promote Global We at Global Networking Night, because you now have more information than most people do about Global We, and you can share that information with others. So thank you, sir. Do you have a question?
So on that note, I'm not sure whether Casey knows, but I actually helped start the essay contest in Korea. That was about 7-8 years ago. Really, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yes, but
definitely before the pandemic.
Yeah, before the pandemic, way before. But with this whole advent of ChatGPT and all that AI stuff, like, how does that affect? Because I haven't been involved with the essay contest for a while. How does it impact the way we run the essay contest, or the way that you run essay contests?
We actually added when we have the students sign their statement about submitting their own work. They are swearing that they haven't used any kind of AI, and then we have a second step that we're using if we need it, which Eric participated in, right, where we actually interview the finalists, I think, and Eric, you and other panel members were able to, I think, suss out whether these people were genuine in what they wrote, right?
Yes, that's correct. I mean, we have not implemented the interview process worldwide in every contest yet. It was kind of a pilot program last year, and it worked out really well, although it creates a lot more, a greater demand for readers or interviewer resources, because now you're introducing a 20-minute conversation into everything, right? And that's, as many of you know, if you've done interviews for the admissions office before, the coordination itself is often a lot of the process of work that's involved. So we haven't really figured out the optimal mix yet with respect to the interviews. But one thing I have to add is, when we read these contests, there's an element of personalization to it, and you can sense it a lot of times, whether it's written generically by a chat GPT or AI rather than from the heart. And, no, we cannot, determine at this point whether someone used it to fix their grammar, but we can certainly determine if someone used it to create the idea, behind it. And so, and so that's kind of the feedback that we have right now to work with.
That sounds great. I mean, a little more sweat equity, but I completely agree that that's a better system. Thank you. I think you have some messages or questions.
Yes, we see a question. Well, there's a suggestion about infographics. Yes, we are continuing to work on new ways to bring our events to life and attract more people from all over the world and across our Harvard community through the infographics, through other mechanisms. And it's very important to us that we continue to innovate and use things like AI to design those. And so we're excited to continue to raise awareness and spread the word about our events. So thank you, sir, for providing that suggestion. And I do believe there's a question about country managers, because I mentioned contest managers, but perhaps our President Emerita can answer that one for the person who brought that up.
Country managers for Global Leader for the essay contest.
For the essay contest, I believe.
Is that the question?
Yeah, or maybe, I don't know, actually. Maybe answer for the essay contest, and then I can talk about the other.
Yeah, pretty much it's by country. I am from the Philippines, so I run from year to year 10 to 12 contests in the Philippines. Our co-chair for the essay contest, Rachel Bildik, runs over 40 contests in Turkey. And that's pretty much how we assign them. Sometimes it's just a manager will manage just a contest in a school, and otherwise our country managers will manage all the contests in that one country. So we have them in Pakistan, in Japan, in Korea, and yeah. So absolutely. So if that's something you're interested in, let Barbara know and she'll funnel you over to our essay contest team.
Thank you so much, Leah. And to answer the broader question about how our organization is structured, I mentioned with the photo of the board, we do have a volunteer board, and through that, there are different committees, which I invite many of you, all of you, if you're interested, to join. Within the organization, what we do is we use social media and other modes of communication to attract as many people as possible. And as we continue to grow, we have discussed having circles or regional chairs. And there are other organizations that do that are a little bit larger. And so it's something we've talked about. At present, what we do is have mostly virtual events. And for the ones in person, we ask our terrific volunteers to attend and host the event, whether it's Global Networking Night or Welcome to Your City. And in the future, I could envision some smaller groups, but larger groups of people in the various countries where we have alumni as we continue to grow. At present, we're focusing on virtual events and having folks volunteer on our behalf for those two main events that the Harvard Alumni Association offers. But thank you for the question. And depending on what country you're from, we'd love to have you participate in that country and raise awareness about what we're doing, invite speakers, and participate in other ways. I see that there's a question about events in the Philippines.
Hi, Janine. This is from Janine is actually a winner from a couple of years ago from one of our essay contests. So it's great to see you here. I'm working on it. Actually, we are trying to see if we can get a partnership with between one of the organizations that we featured in our fireside chat, the Global Network for Women in Peace, and some of our schools. So hopefully, and then we're also partnering with the Harvard Club of the Philippines Global. We have a few readers from there, and since they are on the ground in the Philippines, I hope to create something that contest winners and other alumni can participate in.
And one part I'll add to what Leah has said, which is very exciting, is that we are really looking to hold events at different times of day in different time zones so that people from all over the world can participate. Unfortunately, tonight's event is not an ideal time for people in Europe or the Middle East, for example, or Africa. So we are going to work on it and have other times for different events that we hold. The good news is that this is recorded, and so anyone who missed it will be able to watch it on our YouTube channel. So that's something we continue to work on, and with more volunteers in those parts of the world, we could make that happen. Anyone else? Any other questions?
Or even comments about what interested you about Global We? What, you know, what drew your attention, and why are you here tonight? We're so glad to have you.
Yes.
Deborah?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi. My main interest is the essay contest. I have been a writer all my life. You can see from the books behind me. And I believe that writing not only gives people a voice, but it transforms them in the process. So I'm delighted that you have that project going. And I look forward to maybe being of assistance as a reader. And it's just amazing to me that you've been able to do this across the world. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's great.
Thank you. I love to hear that you're interested, and as a writer, you can appreciate good writing, and we would love to have you be part of our cadre of essay contest readers from all over the world. And you don't have to do a contest in any particular country. It could be a couple of places. It's really up to you. We can give you more information about what countries will need readers. I might want to venture to guess as Japan might be one, but there are a few that we would love for you to participate with as much time as you can give. And that's one thing I'd like to mention to everyone. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. It can be whatever time amount that's meaningful to you. It can be something one time, it can be recurring. We just would love anyone to participate and give your perspective, whether it's speaking on a panel or grading essays, reading essays, or coming to our events. We just love to see people, especially people who are coming for the first time, and we welcome you.
That's me.
Thank you so much.
And I have written 20 books.
Wow.
I'm also a newspaper columnist and more. So let's go for it and give these people a chance to be heard.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, we'd love to learn more about your perspective on getting those voices heard on a larger scale, because we have published, as I mentioned, 99 winning essays, and we have some on this website. But we'd love more people to read these essays, because I do think they stand the test of time. So love to hear your perspective on that at a later date.
Okay.
And I see a comment by Wendy. Thank you very much for giving a shout out to all the volunteers. I agree, it's really important to recognize the amazing work that our fellow Harvard alumni and friends in our community do every single day on behalf of Global We. I'll give a fun example. We have a volunteer who's based in India who created these virtual backgrounds for us as our designer and has worked on many wonderful graphics for our organization. And we value that volunteer greatly, as well as all of our board members, our advisory council, everyone who's here today, anyone who's helped with the program. So we really want to thank you. So thank you, Wendy, for lifting them up, and yourself as well for volunteering with us. Any other questions or comments? Anything else as we wrap this up?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, all right. So I'm in South Korea and I work with North Korean refugees. And we're going to be having a speech contest later this year, actually at Harvard, probably at Harvard. I'm going to be going in a couple of weeks to meet with people. Hopefully we can get it settled. Is there any type of a mentoring aspect to what you do? And if we could get included in that?
Thank you for the question. It's great that you mentioned that because we are just starting to launch a mentoring program. So you all will be among the first to know. We are going to launch a mentoring program with our students on campus, but that does raise an interesting question of if there's an opportunity to serve beyond Harvard's campus. And that's a question we could definitely bring up with our team to see if that's possible. And if there's, most importantly, if there's an interest among this membership base, because we can't do it without our members. As much as our board would love to mentor people, we need our members like you and others who you know, and everyone here to be interested. And so absolutely we can talk about it. If you want to send me a note at president@hglobalwe.org, I can pass it along and we can have a conversation, because I think it's important for us as we promote our mission of global women's empowerment that we bring our members together in service of that mission all over the world. And that's a great idea. So I'd love to talk about it further.
Okay, I'll follow up.
Thank you so much.
I wanted to call out Cami Choi, who's one of our newer volunteers and has gotten really, really involved, and she can tell you what that's been like for her.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Leah, for this opportunity to share about my experience. I did get involved a little more recently, probably around the September timeframe. I had heard about Global We through Julie Palmer, and I knew I wanted to help in some capacity. I did start as a reader for the Japan contest, and that was just a really enlightening and wonderful experience. And I would say that's a really wonderful place to start if you are trying to figure out just a way that you can get involved. And I know now it goes on here too. I know we just need a lot of readers for a lot of different contests. So I highly encourage that. I'm also working on some of the back end operations for the essay contest. So just hopefully if you are involved as a reader or a contest manager, I'll be able to support you in that capacity soon.
Thanks, Cami.
Thank you. And she mentioned Naoko, who is an amazing volunteer with Global We based out of Somerville, Massachusetts. And we're very grateful to have Naoko as part of our team. And every time I come to campus, I'd love to see Naoko at the events. And she's done such amazing work to support our mission and our fellow members. So Naoko, thank you so much. And thank you for being here today.
My pleasure. And it's great to see you all.
Thank you. Now I'd like to, Chuck, if you're willing, I'd love for us to hear from you as to what brings you to Global We and what have you enjoyed most about being part of our community as a member of our advisory council. And Chuck Bergen is also a member of our Harvard Alumni Association Board of Directors.
Well, thanks, Barbara. Initially, it was, as with many of you, the founder, Julie Palmer, who was a friend of mine and from the Chicago area, who told me about this organization and said, you'd be perfect for it because I have 3 daughters and 2 granddaughters, and I take a very keen interest in the mission of this group, which is empowering women. I think it's very important for men to be involved as allies, as friends, as mentors, as helpers, because I think the world, which has been in some ways closed to female input for a long time, is now opening to it. And I want to help, in a small way, develop leaders. That's too great a mission. I had a former colleague who worked with a group called READ, R-E-A-D, which I'm going to send you, Barbara, because I think it's a group you may want to have to your expo, that works on literacy for women, particularly in the Himalayan region, in Nepal and in Tibet and in Bhutan. And a former colleague of mine, and she just did great work with them. And I was very amazed at how much could be done with a relatively small input. You could get a great output, a great amount of change. So that's the sort of noble, global reasons. But the other reasons are, I loved working with you at Harvard Club of Chicago. If I could, talk you into moving back to Chicago, I would in a heartbeat. Leah, you've been a great president. Sajida, I love. I think she's wonderful. And Julie, as I say, is an old friend. I find this group welcoming. I think for the men, Eric, I love hanging out with you when I get to see you once or twice a year. Rachif is great. I don't know if he's on this call, but it's probably the middle of the night for him. But, and I think it's the kind of project that men can't just say, oh, it's a women's thing, we're going to leave that alone. I think men have to say, what's good for our society? How can I help make a change? And I feel like this group is a really good way to do that. So that's why I'm involved.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chuck. I do miss seeing you around. For those who don't know, I left
I miss you too, Barbara.
I live in Cleveland, Ohio. I live in Northeast Ohio now.
It's not that far away.
It's not that far. It's not that far at all. Thank you so much, Chuck. Really appreciate your input, and really thank you for being here today on behalf of the Advisory Council and as our mentor and friend. We really do appreciate seeing you. I know a few people have joined in the last few minutes. We did have a presentation to start this event, and it will be available on our YouTube channel. And all of you who are here tonight will receive an email with that link if you'd like to catch it again, or just miss anything you missed. If you want to listen to it one more time, it will be available on YouTube. And we do have the website. Well, let me just mention that before we wrap up. Our membership is growing, and one way we wanted to capture that growth is by having a more dynamic website, which we created in the coming, and it's going to be launched soon, but in the past months, we've been working on this website with a fantastic volunteer and Harvard alum. It is now hglobalwe.org. So I've been putting it in the chat a couple of times here, and that's a new website that we have with a lot of information. And if you want to learn more about Global We, that's a great place to start. And we are always looking for more volunteers. So please check out that website, which we're really proud of and we've been working on for a couple of years. We're really excited to share that with everyone. We do have a newsletter that'll be coming out in a few weeks, and we will send emails. We don't send emails too often, don't worry about that, but we do send emails with information, and we have a newsletter and other ways to get in touch with us, include social media. And so I will wrap up this presentation now, but I want to thank everyone for joining us today from all over the world. We do appreciate you. And for those who spoke, thank you for sharing your perspective, asking questions, and being willing to be part of our community. And so I wish you all a wonderful rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you at a future event. Thank you all so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
So much. Bye, everyone. Chuck, I'll see you next month.
Bye, Barbara.
Bye, Teresa.